Hello and welcome back to my channel. So I'm going to do another rehouse today from the spider shop. It was an unboxing, but if you watched my last video, I had a load of enclosures in it, so I didn't want to just box like a load of enclosures because it's just boring. So I had 3 massive boxes of stuff, but I did get a few other items. I got the one in the last video, so go check that out if you didn't see that one. But I'm going to rehouse something in here today. And if you remember, I had in here the purple pink toe. Let me just grab them. So in here I had the Vicularia duriensis, and if you can see in there, it is now gone on into some good size now. So it's about 1 inch, and they do really well in this type of enclosure, and it's laid web everywhere. And this is the bigger one. The other one's slightly smaller, which I think is definitely going to be a female, but they started off in these and they're about 0.5 centimeters, and they were brilliant in these enclosures. And the spider shop do these enclosures, so if you want to pick them up, I think they're like £4 something, so they're really cheap. But the reason why these are good, let me just put this back, is because if you have a boreals like Avix to go in here in these sort of enclosures, when I first started having Avix, I lost the odd couple and I didn't understand why. And they need more humidity, but it's the ventilation, cross ventilation and top ventilation. They need it constantly circulating. So even if you put them in these enclosures, but then put them behind a load of other enclosures stacked up, you'll find that the ones in the middle will start perishing if they're very small. So you want to get them nice, roomy little enclosures. And these are so easy if you get them to do their webbing right, because on the last ones, if you watch the previous videos of these, they webbed up these little pieces of wood, and one of them webbed up to the side of the enclosure, so I had to keep like removing it. So I ended up leaving it in there, and you've got these little hatches you can just pop open and drop food in, which is brilliant. But removing molts, had to take it off, and the other one didn't do anything. It just did it on the actual wood piece and left the lid alone, so I could just twist it, take it off, and it just stayed there perfectly. So these are absolutely brilliant. All I've done is I've done that there, and then all I do is I put a bit of water in the water dish. It always seems to disappear out there for some reason, I don't know why, but I've got gravel in the bottom, so it has water down through the substrate and drainage layer at the bottom, so then it will evaporate up through. So it's got the humidity levels that it needs, and it's also got the cross ventilation as well, which is absolutely brilliant. So what I'm putting in here today, Lucy's already had a look at these little ones and she absolutely loves these. They are called the, let's have a look, iridopelma hirsutum. I probably can't say that right. So the Amazon ribbed, and it says these are 1 to 2 centimeters, but they are smaller, so I'd say slightly lower than 1. But they're bold and they jump straight away, and they are absolutely cute. So I'll put a picture up there on the screen of what they look like when they're older. It's absolutely stunning. I've never had anything like that for an arboreal. Yeah, so they were very tiny, as you can see there. Like, it comes out straight away. But what I did in the actual tissue last night is I left them in there because I knew they'd be fine. And I put a cricket in so that they could eat, and it's filled its bum. They've eaten, babe. The first one has, yeah, because what I noticed is if I put them straight into this enclosure, they won't settle for a while, and they had very tiny bums. So I knew they were comfortable in here. So you can see I crushed a cricket completely, so it was dead, and it's eaten half of it. So I disturbed it then, but the bum is a lot larger on this little one, and I needed that because it's probably going to take a couple of days to get settled in here. It's probably going to take it a good few days for it to settle before it eats. But look at the size of it. And then what you want to look at is these holes. It can't get out on the top, and then you've got side ventilation on the side there, and it can't get out of those, because I have had Avix this size go in here and they just walked all around it for I think a week, maybe more, before they started laying webs. So these are quite bold. Just remove that hair. You can see that on there. I'm not sure if I'm doing my camera work very well, but I'll give you a close-up in a second when I get it on to the little wood piece. Can you see the colours?
So cute.
Don't know what it's doing with its little legs there. I'll try and stay still for you. Can you see the bum's got slightly larger, so at half of the cricket?
Oh, get on.
So that was really good, because believe it or not, the abdomen on this was less than half that size, wasn't it? It was tiny.
Yeah.
And that can then obviously make them perish quite easy, but at least it's eaten. But we had them out yesterday and they were jumping off you, weren't they?
Yeah.
And they're very bold, aren't they?
They're so cute.
Can you see the colours on it?
Yeah.
Yeah? You zoomed in enough?
So cute. They've got really good eyesight and good judgment of when they can jump.
Oh my god, look how cute that is.
So sweet.
It's really cute,
Yeah.
isn't it? Oh, it's really hard to focus on them.
Because he's so ickle.
And you can see the striped pattern, but what are they called? The Amazonian ribbed
Tree spider.
Ribbed tree spider. But
Yeah.
look how hairy they are. But they've got little attitudes on them. They're quite bold for a tiny, tiny little spider.
They're not phased at all.
But I put a picture there, look, of an adult one. The coloration on them. It's just amazing. But there's slight variance, isn't there? There's like a brownish colour, and then more red, and then some darker colours. So I don't know if they're sexually dysmorphic. I'll probably do some more research, but look at that. Right, so there we have it. That's one, and you can hardly see it from there, can you? Look at that. And it'll probably web, but I did this little bit of quarterback that we've done from where we live, and the purple pink toes that we got, they lived in this at a tiny stage, and then they started to lay web down on it, and they were absolutely fine in here. And then we'd literally put some food at the top, some tiny feet of the crickets, and they'd come up and take slowly. They'd almost lift their legs up, so you'd have to like hand feed them at first. But I am so happy that that one started to eat and that Adam's bigger, because it was so much tinier. And yeah, we were worried about that one because we know they take a while to settle. But this is really bold. And then what I love is we just pop that down. Look at that, can you see it?
Yeah.
And then we just get this.
Pop the lid on top.
Slide it in. Job done. And there we go, that is perfect, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right, so that's that one. I'll leave it there in case it moves around. And this is the second one. I think one of them, when we got them, I think they both did yesterday, didn't they? They both just jumped around and crawled all over you.
Yeah.
And you really liked them. So do you want to do this one and put it in there?
No, you can do it.
Lucy doesn't want to go on camera today.
I'm having a lazy day. I can't be bothered. I've been a busy bee.
Right, so I've done the same again in that one. A little bit of water in the water dish. And I've already put water down through the substrate, so it's down into the bottom as well. So they've got the humidity they need. And I'll probably feed them again. Right, so we did the same with this one. We put a cricket in this one as well. Oh, it's coming out by itself. Yeah. They're so bold, aren't they?
Yep.
Come on, bird. Straight on there. That is so bold. And look at the ribbed pattern. Can you see that?
Yeah, I was just going to say, if you'd held that from a distance, it would have jumped onto there.
Yeah. And that one was eating the cricket as well.
Oh, good.
I left them there. Yeah, the bum's got bigger. Half the size.
Good.
So that's a good tip to do. So don't rehouse them straight away. Just leave them in their little enclosure they come in, because it's so compact and the disturbance have been taken around. They just settle in there well, don't they?
The cricket was a bit big as well, wasn't it? So you killed it first.
Yeah, I killed it. And they've both eaten off that. So I know they've fed. They've got water in the enclosure. And I'll just leave them in there now like that. But that is absolutely stunning. And like I said, with the cross ventilation, these work really, really well. So keep an eye on these for a couple of days. But they've got plenty of room in there, haven't they?
Yeah, they're so pretty.
How cute is that? But when we got them out yesterday, they were jumping quite a distance, weren't they?
Yeah, I love how they just wandered.
Yeah, it just sprung like quite a distance. So there we go, the Amazon ribbed. I'm really looking forward to these growing on the channel. I've not had these before.
Amazon
so they're absolutely stunning.
Spider.
Yeah, it is. So one of your favourites, aren't they? You like these little ones?
I do.
So there we go. I hope you enjoyed that. If you haven't got any of these yourself, see if you can find them. But if not, get them from Spidershop if you're in the UK.
They're worth having. Oh,
definitely. And you can do it via my link as well if you want to help out my channel. That would be most appreciated. But thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.
Later.